Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313 back with another one. Stephen Will here, ready to talk that Detroit Lions football and a little bit something else. We'll see. We'll get into that early. But before we do, please hit that subscribe button and think about becoming a member. If you watched the last episode, I know some of you couldn't stomach it, but if you gutted through it, Steve made some promises. So might be a good time to become a member and win you some stuff. But that out of the way, Steve, what do you want to get into? Or you want me to kick this thing off with my grievances?
Just dusted off this old English D like we had to do to those Cleveland Guardians today. We'll just belt a ass to another Ohio team, and they got another one coming Sunday. What are we going to talk about today is I don't like to toot our own horns too much, Will, but we tried to rally the troops. We tried to talk the people off the ledge all off season. I think there's a lot of people, and if you're in here, own up to it. We own up to our, hey, we've taken ours. You know, when we're wrong, we come on here. Hey, I was wrong about this. Trust me, I'm thinking right now, maybe the Detroit Lions potentially should have done something and drafted Will Johnson. I don't know. I was very against it. I see how he's playing. We're wrong sometimes. Some of you guys need to do the same when it comes to all of your concerns about our offensive and defensive coordinators this offseason, because there was a lot of people doom and gloom, just absolute down in the dumps that we lost Ben Johnson, we lost Aaron Glenn, question marks about Coach Shep, question marks about Coach Morton. It's been phenomenal. It's been better. It's been way better than I expected, Will. So where do you want to begin from there?
Before we get into that, I want to speak to our subscribers about some of the grievances that they have with me. Because we're trying to run a business here, Steve, as you say all the time, trying to run a business here. And I just respect them, and I respect everybody. Now, do I think that they could be a little bit more polite sometimes when they come after me? She's so peace, man.
Get your pitchforks and get this man.
Golly, man, these people they don't mess around. But no, in all seriousness, so this audio issue, I want to explain it and I want to talk about it because I want people to understand and set the table. Now, we're going to change some things and we're going to try to get it squared up for you, but understand this. We got these new handy dandy upgraded microphones from our old school ones. If you've been with us for a long time, where you could just hear everything, like everything in the background, right? So this thing, it does something great. It does something phenomenal. It tries to filter out all of the background noise. Now, there's some settings that you can play around with to kind of try to work around that and let some more of that background noise in. And that's what we've done today. So we'll see if this is a better situation. But here's what I need you guys to know. Will's got 87 kids at his house, right?
And a little bit under, but close.
So here, setting the table, it's work coming straight in from football practice. I am hopping on here with Steve to get this content out with you guys. But upstairs, there's chaos going on up there. There's dogs.
It's a zoo.
Yeah. So dogs are barking. Kids are coming in from practice. There's showers. There's screaming. There's changing. So this handy dandy microphone filters out a lot of that. Now, if there's a dog barking or a kid screaming or kids wrestling or doing whatever up there, mom yelling at a kid, and I speak as the microphone is trying to filter that out, that's when you'll start to get that spottiness. So, full disclosure, we've turned most of that off. So now, if you guys hear my family up there going bananas, this is what you asked for. There's nothing else I can do. This is it. So setting the table, that was the issue. We're going to try to work through it. Those who stuck around, I really appreciate you guys. And Steve, I apologize. I know I'm kind of bringing the channel down with my stuff.
Land the plane here, Will. Jeez.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk some football.
Coordinators, people being wrong, us being trying to be uplifting. I'll start with the offense because I think that's where my biggest question mark was, because I look at this roster when Ben Johnson left, and I said, I think the Joes are more important than the X's and the O's. Now, you still need a good play caller. You can't just do dive, pass, like we've seen a lot of our college teams do over the last 3 years. You got to be creative. You can't just do basic vanilla offense. You got to have the right personnel, the right groupings, down and distance. A lot of things go into making a factor for this offense, but a lot of people didn't think John Morton would be able to take over and that there would be no creativity. It would be bland. It'd be vanilla. We tried to tell you guys that this is not what he's going to do. We listened to the press conference. He says what he's going to do. He's going to be a more creative offense. It's going to be more creative in a way that we're not used to with mismatches. We've seen a lot of David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs on the field together more than we have the past 2 or 3 seasons. I think that's where it's creative for me, and it's harder for a defense to match up against. There's not many teams that carry 2 or 3 linebackers that can carry their own pail against Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, and then maybe even a slot receiver and a Monterey Brown. Like, you have to have an elite team to match up with us. We saw it with Green Bay. They have a very, very good defense. I feel like I got to bring them down a little bit of a notch because of what I saw Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys, but they're still a very, very athletic and good defense. Not every team in the NFL is designed like them. There's very, very So this offense was, I think, the biggest question mark for me. All of these all pros, everyone being healthy last year for the most part, the best tackle, a new interior offensive lineman, just a lot of question marks. John Morton has been an A-plus play caller. We're averaging like 41.34 points per game or something crazy like that. We have the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL right now. It's time to give John Morton a little bit of respect, Will.
Yeah, I don't know what you. There's no place to go, Steve. You're dead on. Yeah, like a home run. You're absolutely correct. I don't really have a whole lot to add to it other than this, Steve. I will say, this offense, I believe, we're just scratching the surface, Steve. This thing is just getting started. It's gonna be like, I feel like I'm on a game show and they're like, and then there's more, right? So I mean, we're just seeing a little bit of Montgomery and Gibbs in the backfield together. Still haven't seen Gibbs lining up at that slot receiver or just at receiver in general and attacking teams like that, which is something that he's talked about. Still haven't seen all 5 of those players out there often as the weapons when he started talking about David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Jamo, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So, and then Tesla is another way to flip that thing up and do it. Still haven't seen jump balls going to Tesla, who Coach Montgomery said he didn't even know the guy has 2 hands because he's only seen 1. Like,
doesn't need
so
to.
Yeah, so I think we're just scratching the surface with this offense, Steve, and that's what really excites me the most. Coach Morton is having this success, and I think he has a lot of things up his sleeve that are gonna just really blow some people's mind because they're already pretty much over the moon excited. But it's waves, Steve. You got to ride the roller coaster with some fans. One game can turn this thing completely around for some fans, and they'll be saying if he has a bad game, he's the worst OC, that we messed up, and yada, yada, yada. So peaks and valleys, but I think we're set for a good season. I don't think this is a short flash in the pan. I think we're going to be one of the top offenses, if not the top offense, at the end of this thing.
I think the only thing where I can really think that the Detroit Lions need to get better, or maybe we could start building on a little bit more, is getting Jameson Williams a little bit more involved. He's just a weapon. And I think if he gets more touches, he's going to stress a defense. And I know we took some shots against Cleveland and they weren't there. Goff taking responsibility. The ball wasn't in the right place, under pressure, some underthrows. And then on the other hand, Jameson Williams had a couple drops too. So, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword here. I'm not trying to pick on any one player, but I'd just like to see Jamo get the ball in some space where he can make some people look absolutely foolish with his speed. And I get it. I love the long ball. The long ball is great. Chick stick the long ball. It's fantastic. If you can hit home run on that, it's not a high percentage play. I would like to see Jameson Williams just touching the football in more high percentage situations. Now, I'm firmly on the fence of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're scoring 41 points. So let's just keep riding this thing until the wheels come off. And then maybe we have to make a couple adjustments, but that's just one thing that I would probably nitpick with this offense is get the ball to Jamo a little more, because this offensive line, William, huge question marks coming into the season. Jared Goff hasn't been sacked since week 1. Since week 1, William. He's barely been pressured. Hasn't been sacked in 3 straight weeks. Now, is that going to be the story for the rest of the season? I would probably wager probably not. He'll probably go down once or twice, a couple more times from the opposing team. But we win against some good teams. The Bears, not a bad defense. Ravens, not a bad defense. Cleveland Browns, number 1 defense. That's the most impressive game for me, is keeping Jared Goff upright. That's the most important thing for John Morton in the offense to be clicking, is you got to have protection for Goff. Got to be able to run the football. We've checked those 2 boxes. That's why the offense is clicking.
Steve, there's two guys on this offense that I feel like Jared Goff plays catch with: Monter St. Brown, Sam Laporta. It just looks easy. He makes tough throws to those two guys look easy. To the contrary, though, he makes easy throws to Jamo look hard. Jamo sometimes is running wide open and he throws it behind him, or he drops it short, or he tries to throw it early and he overthrows him. I don't know what that is. Is that because this offseason they mentioned that Jamo was one of the first guys to get into the building and he was one of the last guys leaving. He got there, he worked, he's did his thing, he's done his due diligence. So I would imagine it's not time in the saddle. Is it the complete difference in speed between those two? And then, when he got to throw that fastball to him, but he's got to throw the changeup to the other two. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to figure it out. But I want those guys to be able to play catch too. Because if he gets to the point to where he can play catch with J-Mo, Steve, I don't like using words like unstoppable, but I just really don't know how you stop us. Because when you're at the games, Steve, you can attest to this. When you're at the games, there's 3 or 4 times every single game where J-Mo is running past everybody wide open. Now, sometimes Goff is getting pressured. Sometimes the play call wasn't for him. Sometimes it just looks like that because the defense has rotated over to where the ball was actually thrown. But 1 or 2 of those times, he just destroyed the DB that was in front of him, and he's running with 2 or 3 yards of separation. So I really hope that that's something that we could get figured out because it's not new. We've seen it essentially since his second year when he actually got the chance to get some snaps and some opportunities.
Yeah, he's an absolute threat. Just get him the ball a couple more times, a little higher percentage. Throwing a ball 40, 50 yards and trying to hit him in stride with a defender possibly draped all over him is a low percentage throw. It's tough. It's great when it works. Everyone likes to see the 40, 50-yard bombs, but in the NFL, those are tough to complete. It's not as easy as playing, Madden. And some players, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, they make it look so easy, but it's not always that easy. Defensively, Will, if you're ready to switch to defense, you're a defensive guy.
Yeah.
What have you seen defensively in the difference between Aaron Glenn and Coach Shep?
Aggression. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest difference. I know some people are going to say, well, what do you mean aggression? Aaron Glenn was a guy who wanted to come at you and play press man. That's cool. Uh, Coach Shep brings all of the aggression. He brings all of the accountability to the players in a different style. I feel like he's a little bit more aggressive with his accountability. Even at the podium, he's like, hey, that player knows what the standard is. Where Coach Glenn was a little bit more of a player's coach, a little bit more finesse with it. I said it the first week I saw it. I was a little bit worried, like, how are the players going to respond to this? They've responded very well. But he mixes up a little bit more zone into. It's a lot of man. Don't let's not get it twisted. There's still a lot of man there, but he's sprinkling a little bit more zone. And Steve, there's a few of you guys that get in the comments very often and ask, how are we gonna start or stop these mobile quarterbacks? Coach Shep showed you. We're gonna have a spy out there. Now it's not gonna be all the time, but he's gonna mix in that spy. And if you know Coach Glenn, that's something that he really wasn't into, having a spy out there. And he's going to have rush lanes. So those are the biggest things that I've noticed, Steve. He creates rush lanes for his guys and rules for them to follow to kind of corral these quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson and kind of keep them into the pocket. And then he's also mixed in a little bit of zone, a little bit of spy, and then it's controlled aggression. He's going to blitz you in certain moments. He's going to play stunts games in a certain moment, man. I'm very happy with what I've saw from Coach Shep so far, but small sample size. Not taking anything away from it, but I do want to say this before I turn it over to you. A lot of times when something's new, teams got to adjust to it. They got to start to get used to what Coach Shep is, what his philosophy is. What I'm interested to see, Steve, is as people get halfway through the season and they got a feel for what Coach Shep likes to do and how he likes to call his games, What adjustments will he be able to make? What evolution will he have? Will it be the same thing? Will he come in like Coach Flores? No disrespect to him, he's a great coach, but everybody in the world know Coach Flores wants to blitz you, blitz you, blitz you, blitz you, blitz you, blitz you, blitz you. And then when he did that to Detroit, we showed you why you don't want to show your hand and let us prepare for you all week. So for those reasons, Steve, I'm interested to see how the long ball goes with him, but I'm overjoyed with what I saw so far. Defensively for you, Steve, how are you feeling? What have you saw? What do you like? Anything you don't like?
I feel like I have to grade Aaron Glenn on a little bit of a curve. He didn't have a full deck of cards to play with, especially last season. He did not have the biggest card in the deck for most of the year in Aiden Hutchinson. Lost our whole defensive line, secondary, like we were dropping like flies. It's tough. And Aaron Glenn held everything together and brought us to a 15-2 season where we could have had every excuse to start hot and just slowly start slipping because of injuries. We could have blamed it on the injuries. We could have blamed it on a lot of different things, but that probably would have been number one. Aaron Glenn steered that ship for me last year. And I don't think he gets enough praise. So it's tough. What I see from Calvin Shepard is he's got a full deck, and his deck's going to get more stacked as the year goes on. We're about to get a Lee McNeil back. DJ Reed was looking like a season-ending injury just a couple days ago, just an IR stint. He'll be back in about 4 weeks. Marcus Davenport, this time last year, he was out for the season, just an IR stint. He'll be back in a few weeks. We're getting Rodrigo back pretty soon. We're getting guys healthy at the right time. Maybe I think I'm kind of leaning toward maybe Kirby sitting out the Cincinnati game. I think we can skate by without him. He's an important player. We're going to need him down the road. I feel like we can handle the Bengals offense without Kirby Joseph. Maybe we give him a day off. Just my thought, but I think that's the biggest thing. I think their styles are similar. Press man. I think the only thing this defense is truly, truly missing, Will, is that take away one side of the field type corner. If we get that with our pass rush, our front seven, if Terrion Arnold takes a massive step, he's still got plenty of time. I know people are dogging him, giving him all kinds of shade, disrespect. It's only week 4. All right, he's still got 13 weeks of football. There's a lot of room to get better. Is there a lot of room for him to get better? Yes, and I think he's going to. I'm very, very hopeful. I'll tell you if I thought Terrion Arnold was a bust. He plays good. It's just not consistent for me. So if we get that true, hey, I'm taking away your number one receiver. This half of the football field's closed, and Aiden Hutchinson's on the defensive line. Lee McNeil coming back healthy. Athletic linebackers. Jack Campbell's taking a big step this season. I don't think there's much of a difference between Shep and Glenn. Maybe just their personalities, but from a coaching standpoint, I think that these are just two guys that are very well respected. One's just a little bit more outspoken than the other.
That's fair. That's fair. That leads me to this, Steve. As I look at this Detroit Lions offense, as I look at this Detroit Lions defense, do you feel like we're in a better situation? Not talking injuries, talking with our coordinators. Do you think that we're in a better situation with our coordinators now than we were last season?
Numbers don't lie. We're number one scoring offense right now. I don't know where we rank in terms of rushing yards per game or passing yards per game. Those are cute stats. Only stat that matters to me is how many points a game you're scoring, how many points per game you're giving up. I don't know exactly where we rank defensively. I feel like I might have to look, but as I'm looking, I'll just say that I think we're better. But I can't say that it's not because of health. Like I think that we lost so many pieces last year that it was a massive thing. Here we go. Defensive points per game. We're 15th. We're right in the middle of the league. That's not bad. We've played some good teams, though. The Green Bay Packers, good team. Chicago Bears, junk points toward the end of the game. Baltimore Ravens, junk points toward the end of the game. Still have an elite offense with an elite quarterback. Browns held them to 10 points. So I think that those numbers are a little skewed. I do think that we're a little bit better points per game wise than 15th in the league. 22 points per game. But if you're telling me that the Lions only got to go out and score 23, I feel like that's easy to do. So it's kind of we play very complimentary football in that regard. 22 points per game we're giving up, but we're scoring 34.3. So almost more than 2 full touchdowns of offense compared to defense. So that's a pretty good bed to be laying in.
Yeah, I'll take it.
What do you
I
think?
don't feel like I don't feel like you gave me just a flat out definitive answer. I feel like you were
Yes, we're
still a
better
little bit of a
offensively and
thank you.
defensively.
That's what I
I
that's what I
don't know
want.
what else
That's
you
what I
need to.
want to
I don't
hear.
know if you were just
That's what I
like,
want to.
maybe you need
That's
new
what I want to hear.
headphones and a new microphone. I don't know.
No,
Maybe we
no,
work on that
that
next.
no. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted, baby. I want the definitive answer. And here's what I'm going to tell you, Steve. It leads me to asking you this because we've had this much of a sample size, and you're already going. Steve, are you? No, you're not nuts. You're damn right.
Mm.
You're damn right. We're better. You're damn right. We're better. And I'm overjoyed by it, man. I I don't feel like Coach Shep was even in question because he was groomed to do it for 3 or 4 seasons. Like this, he had already been calling games. We just didn't know it. Is what it is. Now, I was a little bit curious of how Coach Morton would be able to relate with the younger players from this generation. You know, that was the biggest thing that I was worried about. X's and O's wise, I knew he had already been here. I knew he wasn't a dummy. I know Coach Campbell isn't a dummy, and I know he wouldn't hire somebody that wouldn't be able to get the job done, especially when we're turning you over a Ferrari to you. We're not turning over a Pinto. Like this thing is ready to go after a Super Bowl. So for those reasons, I wasn't. That's the only thing that I was worried about. But we've seen it, man. We've seen it, and I'm excited for it, Steve. I think this is a Super Bowl caliber team. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Green Bay Packers again. To watch these Detroit Lions prove that that was a Week 1 fluke. A lot of weird things happen Week 1, but first we got to get through these Cincinnati Bengals, man. The Bungles got to get through them,
Mhm.
man. And TA today, Steve, full practice. So it's looking like we're gonna have TA out there. So is your expectation that it's gonna be TA outside corner 1, Amik outside corner 2?
I can't put Terry and Arnold on Jamar Chase this weekend. I can't do that. I can't. Amik has to be on Jamar. TA has to be on Higgins. I don't love that matchup for us, Terry and Arnold versus Jamar Chase. If I'm being like best receiver in the game against a cornerback with questions, I'm just going to be fair here. But he might have a shot. He might have a chance to prove me wrong, and I'd love to see it. But even with Jake Browning as their quarterback, I feel like that's advantage Cincinnati. And honestly, that's probably only advantage they have, offense versus defense, because I don't want to spoil it too much. Well, I got a lot of stats, a lot of information. I'm like a walking encyclopedia this week for the Bengals. Okay, this game's personal. I'll be there. It's a game versus an Ohio football team. I want this one. I want blood. I don't want a 3-point win. 49 points, or I'm not satisfied. Detroit Lions
Sheesh.
minus 48 and a half. Okay. When it comes to
Mm,
Ohio teams in football, I want blood. I don't want just a nice, easy game where everyone has fun. I want to see small children in Cincinnati crying hysterically
mm,
because their season
mm.
is officially over. All right. And if I see you crying, if you're looking away, I'm going to snatch some of your candy from you while you're looking the other way. Okay. You're not safe. Ice cream, my ice cream. Your candy, my candy now. That's how I feel
Unbelievable, Steve.
about the state of Ohio. Well, so I don't want to get into too much game day, but I do think
Uh,
that is their only advantage over us. But when I look at the rest of the advantages for the Lions, it's overwhelming. I'll say this: my only concern defensively, and this is my last thing, is how we're opening up football games on defense. 4 games, 4 opening drive touchdowns. I don't know what other teams are seeing and they're coming out with scripted plays that's working, because I know the first 10 plays in the NFL, they're usually like drawn up like 2 days ago. So something's going on there. I don't know what it is, but 4 opening drives, 4 touchdowns. I don't love that, but that's just me nitpicking, Will.
hey, listen, if you're gonna come out and score a touchdown and then pretty much get belt the ass the rest of the game, I'm cool with it. Keep doing it all year, as long as we keep finding a way to bite these W's like James Wood.
Yeah, as long as we have more points than them at the end of the game, that's fine. But just nitpicking,
Period.
that's something I'm watching.
I'm good,
What else
man.
you
That's all
got?
I got. That's it.
Guys, think about becoming a member. All right, we're doubling down on membership giveaways if we hit our numbers. It's easy to join. There's a little button says join right down there at the bottom, right next to the screen that you're watching on. Click that, select your tier. Will's got some stuff for a giveaway. If we hit a certain number, 40 super dens, 40 loyalty dens, we'll double up on giveaways. We could be giving away 6 items this month. It's up to you. Think about it. Not required. Greatly appreciated. Stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.